What's up guys, Kevin here from SportsBox Breaks, doing a quick little tutorial video to instruct some of our breaking community on how our hit draft style breaks work. We get this question pretty often recently and we've been doing more hit draft style breaks, so I did want to do a little video on it and kind of give a full explanation of how this kind of break style does work. So here we go. Why a hit draft? So hit drafts are great for really high-end products with a low amount of cards per box. This would be really applicable to something like the National Treasures line of product, or Flawless, or Definitive Football that was out not too long ago. You know, each box in that stuff is extremely high value, and there's under 10 cards per box, usually, 5 or 6 or 8 or something like that per box. So we only sell the exact amount of cards that are guaranteed in those boxes because each one is a hit. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail on the very next slide. But each participant does buy in for the exact same value in a similar fashion to a random team break. But this is a lot different in the sense that, there's only X amount of cards in that box, and we sell that exact amount of spots in the hit draft. Each participant is guaranteed a hit, based on the logic I was just talking about. We're only selling the exact amount of those spots. There's a very high guarantee of return on investment. Reason being, every card in this stuff is always a hit. So the hits are going to be of varying value, and I mean some of that is even a bit subjective based on your own personal preferences, but that's why these hit drafts are very nice, because you get to choose either the monetary value ones or the ones that have, value based on your personal collecting preferences. And last bullet point, obviously they're super fun type of breaks and they contain huge hits. These kind of breaks are always the most massive hits of all the products that we do. So you're going to see big hits in these hit drafts all the time. Next slide here, the random draft. So we only sell the exact amount of spots in hit drafts as there are cards per box. So like I said in the last slide, that is the defining variable to why these hit drafts are so nice, because nobody goes skunked. I mean, if we did a pick your team style break for Definitive Football, which has 8 cards, there's obviously no guarantee that those 8 cards are even going to be spread across 8 different teams. There could be multiple hits in there for one team. So there could be 27 or 28 skunked teams in that. Nobody wants that. So that's why hit drafts are so nice. We then place all participant names in a list on random.org, and then we randomize that list to determine the exact hit draft order. And I'll go into that in a little more detail on the next slide. The order in which each participant's name comes up is the exact order that the hits will be selected. So you'll see that next too. So here it is. So the random draft, and I took a screenshot off of one of our actual live hit drafts that we did a few weeks back, and it was Definitive Football Break number 9. So if you want to actually watch that, go out to our YouTube channel, look for Definitive Football Hit Draft number 9, and you're going to see the random video. So we usually cut it up into 2 small videos. The random video, where we take the list of participants and we randomize it up. So we do that live on camera. And then we do the actual opening of the box where we reveal all the cards, and then everybody makes their selections. So that would be the main video. So in this example, the product has 8 cards in each box, and then there are 8 participants in the hit draft. So it's always a 1-to-1 ratio. The participant list was randomized 4 times, which was determined by a random.org dice roll. I didn't feel the need to get into the random.org dice roll. It's kind of just a given that that's how we choose the number of times that the list is randomized. But if you look right here, you can see that the list was randomized 4 times, and on the 4th time, this is the order which the names came up. So with the outcome of the list random, the participants now get to choose in the following order: Bill M, Charles C, Bill M, Bill M, Bill M, Jeremy A, Charles C, Kent R, and some participants do buy multiple spots in the hit drafts, which is why you're going to see Bill M in there 4 times. But each instance of Bill M does act as its own unique participant in the break. So Bill M doesn't get any special treatment because he bought multiple spots. He comes up the first order, but then he comes up 3, 4, and 5 based on his other purchased spots. It would be the same for anybody that was in the break. It just happened that Bill M came up 3, 4, and 5. So the next one, opening the box. So the box is now opened after the selection order is done through random.org, and each card is shown to the break participants in real time. So we pull each card out, we show it, give you guys, a good amount of time to see the cards on camera. And then the participants should really be paying close attention to the cards as they're being pulled, because up next is when you're going to make your selection on which hit you want. And the trade deals are allowed in hit drafts, but like I say here, they're not very common simply due to the nature of this type of break, because what are you really going to be trading? Everybody's got, a level playing field. Sometimes guys that have multiple spots in hit drafts that may have got, last two spot orders, might throw an offer out there to the guy that has the number 1 or number 2 pick. But again, we kind of just take a back stance on that. It's up to you guys in the chat or whatever during the live break if you want to make those deals. We're just opening the break, opening the box, and showing you guys the cards. And the way that we did the random is the way that we're going to divvy up the cards based on your selections. So next up, making your selections. So now that everyone has seen the cards, it's time for each participant to select their hit. So once again, the selection order is based on the outcome of the list random. So we did the random.org list. 8 participants came up. Based on how those names came up is how you're going to choose. So if you really wanted this Kevin White card, this 1 of 1, and you came up number 1, you're obviously going to be able to choose that as your first selection. So the next up, the second person on the list that came up, if you really wanted this Marcus Mariota frame and you're 2 on the list and that's still an available pick, you would choose the Marcus Mariota, and so on. And it goes all the way down until the 8th spot, and that's pretty much the end of the hit draft. And one of the caveats here, guys, if you are involved in one of our hit drafts but cannot make it to the live break, we do ask that you give us some kind of selection criteria so that we can choose a hit for you. So that selection criteria would be, your best team that you want to go with, your best player if by chance one gets pulled from that player, and so on. So we'll do our best to choose on your behalf. We don't really leave it up to the group because, that could be varying means of folks kind of going for their own interests on that are interested in participating in the break. So we try to do the choosing for you completely on your selection criteria. So give us some kind of criteria if you can't make it to the live break. And last thing here, joining the break fund. So our website is SportsBoxBreaks.com. We do have definitive hit drafts up there right now, guys, and we list hit drafts pretty often. So grab yourself some spots, joining the break fund. Break calendar is up on the site. You can check out when those hits are going to be taking place. Thanks, guys.